So today I'll be making some pierogies, which are Polish food. They have various fillings. Today I chose potatoes and sour cream, and I'm washing my hands right now, getting ready to make these pierogies. All right, so here I'm peeling the potatoes, just getting ready to chop them up into 1 inch cubes. I'll tell you a little bit about the foods imported into Poland. They get a lot of citrus fruits, tomatoes, other dried vegetables, potatoes, and seafood. Um, and now I'll tell you about the exports. They Most of their export market is occupied by meat and meat products. Actually, 1.4 million tons of red meat and byproducts were exported in 2019. And the poultry export industry grew by 10% in 2019 as well. All right, so now I'm gonna start chopping up these potatoes into 1 inch cubes. I'll also be telling you more about the pierogies, which is the dish I'm making today. They're basically stuffed dumplings filled with whatever the chef wants. They can be sweet, spicy, savory, salty, whatever you want, really. Some common fillings are bacon, potato, cheese, and onion. Sweeter versions often include berries, like strawberries or blueberries, and they're traditionally served as a 12th course of a traditional Polish Christmas Eve dinner. All right, so here I'm just salting the potatoes in the pot, getting ready to put some water over them so they can boil. Uh, I'll tell you about some other Polish foods, such as sernik. Sernik is a cheesecake originating from Old Christian and Jewish traditions. It is made with sugar, eggs, and a type of curd cheese called twaróg. Some versions are baked, some aren't, and often raisins, chocolate sauce, or fruits are added. Here I'm just getting ready to add the dry ingredients for the dough. Another Polish dish is kielbasa. It's classified as any type of meat sausage from Poland. Kielbasa is a staple of Polish cuisine, really. Americans use the word to describe a U shaped smoked sausage of any meat. It can be smoked or fresh, made with various ingredients such as pork, beef, turkey, lamb, chicken, or veal, depending on which region you are in, really. So you'll see me adding some water and some butter to a pan, and that's just to add to the dough. It's just gonna let the butter melt into the water, and then I'm gonna stir it in with the dough. Another Polish cooking tradition would be pickling. They really love to pickle things, which is the act of preserving something in a brine, salted water, like vinegar, along with spices. It's usually done to veggies, but also meat. Um, it can be done through heat or through time, and sauerkraut is an example of a pickled food, and it is found in many Polish dishes, even pierogi. Also, pickled cucumbers are a very common cuisine for the Poles. All right, so here I'm just mixing up the egg to add to the dough. Um, I'll tell you about some traditional food customs in Poland. Some of the traditional Polish dishes include bigos, pierogi, cabbage roll, sour cucumber soup, mushroom soup, kielbasa, and pork loin cutlet, which is a breaded cutlet. They have a lot of unique dishes and a lot of interesting flavors. All right, so here I'm just wrapping up the dough so I can let it rest for about 30 minutes. I'll tell you about bigos, which is a dish I just previously mentioned. It's also known as hunter's stew. It's a Polish dish consisting of chopped meat and sauerkraut. It can be enriched with veggies, spices, or wine. Alright, so here I'm just transferring the potatoes, which are done cooking, to the strainer. Um, I'll tell you about galabki, which is another dish I previously mentioned. It's popular in Central Europe, and it's made from boiled cabbage leaves wrapped around a filling. The filling usually consists of minced pork or beef, chopped onions, and rice or barley. So now I'm just mixing all the ingredients together to make my filling. I'm adding the sour cream to the potatoes, and I'm also going to be putting some salt and pepper on here too. I'll tell you about the potato pancake, which is usually a shallow fried pancake, but it's a potato. It's grated or ground potatoes, and it's often cooked with a binding ingredient. All right, so here my dough is done resting. I'm gonna be rolling it out in preparation to make my wraps for my fillings. I'll tell you about some holiday customs in Poland. Carp are a staple of the Christmas Eve meal across Poland, and also pierogi are very common. Herring dishes, and for dessert, makowiak, or noodles with poppy seed. All right, now I'm just preparing some water to boil my pierogies in. I'll tell you about some common slash famous restaurants in Poland, such as Idajka's Polish restaurant, Staropolska restaurant, and Polish House. And here now I'm cutting out the shapes of my pierogies with the cup, and I'll just be folding these in half with the filling inside. And now I'm just adding my filling to my wraps. Just add about a spoonful of each. And now I'll tell you about some dining manners slash etiquette. The knife remains in your right hand and the fork remains in your left hand. When the meal is finished, you place your fork and knife horizontally across the plate, facing left, and that's just indicating that you're finished. Alright, so here are the finished product of the pierogies. I'm about to put them in the boiling water. You just want to softly set these in here, just a layer each. You don't want to stack them on top of each other. You just want to cook them until they're floating to the top, and then an extra 2 or 3 minutes on top of that. Some Polish cooking history would be in the Middle Ages. Polish cuisine consisted of wheat, meat, fruits, herbs, honey, and spices. Every ingredient they had was local, and it was grown out of Polish ground. Back then, the food was quite spicy and calorie heavy. Now I'm just getting some butter to put in a pan so I can pan fry the pierogies when they get out of the boiler to make them crispy. Alright, I'm just getting ready to finish up these pierogies. Just putting them in a pan to fry up with some butter so they get nice and crispy. And I'll tell you some random fun facts about Polish cuisine. It's usually served in big portions, lots of extras like sour cream and butter, lots of fats, lots of meat dishes with veggies and mushrooms. It's super common. Lots of ingredients that kind of seem mismatched, but they actually go together really good. And ingredients are usually fried or stewed. Alright, my pierogies are just getting finished up, taking the last ones off the pan right now. I hope you enjoyed this video watching me make these pierogies. I thought they were pretty good. I think they look pretty delicious too.